this is a technique that my teacher, Boris Pergamenschikow, used to call banana bowing, and it has guided me through continuo playing and lots of different kinds of articulations in Baroque and classical playing. So it basically involves starting from the string and letting it ring, and then falling back to the string, starting from the string and sweeping the bow across, letting it ring again. So one way of understanding this is if you had a dusty table, or let's say a table full of crumbs, and you have your hand on the table, you want to sweep the crumbs off the table, so you go whoosh. And you don't want to take your hand away like this, because then you'll miss all the crumbs that are over here. And you also don't want to do it too slowly, because you don't want the crumbs to stick to your hand. So you just sink in and you go whoosh. So that's the idea. Sink in and whoosh. And and the important thing is that you lead the string ringing afterwards. So it's not like, but, okay. So, and you can do this by starting with a little tiny circular movement of the fingers, because then you'll always be able to grip the string well. I'm always looking for ways to simulate how the Baroque bow works. You could also be holding the bow here, but the beauty of the Baroque bow is that you are holding the bow right at its point of contact with the string, usually. And so it grips the string effortlessly. Also, the hair is not as tight, so the hair actually does that over the string, and it kind of grabs the string and makes it speak. So that's different with the modern bow, in that you have to work a little bit, because the point of where your hair is sitting on the string is further away from your hand usually. So let's assume you're holding it the modern way. So you just make a little tiny circle, and that can start the arm movement. But the arm is really what is making the sound. It's what's brushing the crumbs off the table. So let's do a little scale. Okay, so what has to happen as you come to the tip? You have to let the bow fall. If you try to bring the bow onto the string with using the muscles of the hand or the forearm, then you get a ricochet sound. So the more you try to control, the more it reacts against your control. So I try to think of this as like a record player arm that just goes, and it's really smooth and it lands here. So I use the upper arm to come back down to the string, especially at the tip. That's very helpful. This is easier to do here at the frog. You can just, also with the upper arm it's easier than if you're using the hand. Okay, so let it fall, find your weight, and dig in a little bit, do a little bit of finger motion, and let the string ring. So if you are using your hand to bring the bow to the string, then it's possible that you could be digging in after that. That's a little exaggeration, but you could also be making a little swell on the note, which is not part of what I understand to be banana bowing, because then you are affecting the note after you've started it. And the beauty of banana bowing is that you have the sound, the speed and the pressure that you have at the beginning. It doesn't grow, it lets go. So it just naturally decays. Okay, so if you're doing that on the up bow, then first of all you're working harder than you need to, and then you're adding this extra swell. So try using only the weight of your arm and the speed, and using the upper arm to let the bow fall. And then there are different ways you can do this. You can go from the frog to the tip, down bow, up bow. You can go from the frog to the middle. And in either case, you're sweeping the crumbs off the table. So there's enough enough string contact. So you're not going right away from the string, but really, if you imagine plucking it, that you get it moving so much that it has that amplitude as if you were plucking it. So, and always relaxing in between. For me, the relaxing in between is almost the most important part of this stroke, because this part is not difficult. But if you're not relaxing, it can get heavy or it can get imprecise. So it's really this breathing out. That's what makes it so important. That's what makes it so articulate and light and resonant.